Hey, it's Doug DeVitri back, and in this video we're going to share with you how to import the visuals into your iPad. This assumes that you already have visuals created or they're stored somewhere in your computer. Well, how do you get them into your iPad so that way when you do need them for a screen-to-screen selling call that you have them at your fingertips? So in this module we're going to share is how to organize your visuals based on either the customer type, the product type, or the service type. Imagine all the different permutations and possibilities of visuals based off of those frequently asked questions or concerns of your customer. We're going to share with you how to get those very quickly. Next, we did mention this in an earlier module on how to convert your existing PowerPoint presentation into slides for your screen-to-screen selling calls. We're actually going to show you a little bit more in depth on how you do that. And then finally, how to move those images from your computer so that they're stored on your iPad, so when you do need them for your screen-to-screen selling calls that you have them right at your fingertips. So really what I'd like for you to think about is the way your mind is organized. So in other words, there's really three possibilities. It's either you're talking about the product that you sell, the service that you sell, or the type of customer segment that you serve. So think about this. If you are working, let's say in real estate sales, and you're working with a first-time home buyer, your first-time home buyer is going to have very specific questions that happen on a regular basis. You will want to make sure that you have those visuals prepared for them ahead of time, so that way when they ask the question, you can tap and have that visual for that, So for example, rent versus own analysis, tap, here it is, let's fill out the template together. Seller's net sheet, tap, here, let's fill out the analysis together. So really what I'd like for you to think about is creating folders of your specific images, either based on the customer type, the service that you offer, or the product that you sell. Right now we're just looking at the real estate sales vertical, but this could be easily for accountants, this could be easier for attorneys. It just all depends on, again, who's your customer type or who's your customer segment, or which product or service do you sell. And then based upon that, you take the frequently asked questions that involve each one of those areas and you create visuals or you store visuals into your iPad that can be used during your screen-to-screen selling calls. So really what we're looking at right here is I've taken a screenshot of the iPad app Doceri. So again, this is one of our recommended tools, Doceri. And this is on our quick access guide. We mentioned over and over again. This is what it looks like. So based off of where you are in the call, you'll want to use your little arrow and then click on the image button, and then it will share with you or open up this little menu of all the images that are stored in your iPad. Well, in order to get your images stored in your iPad, first we have to be able to have them, create them, but then next we have to organize them in a way that makes sense for us to be able to access them. So think about these as file folders of your mind that are organized into your Doceri iPad app. So we're going to show you this slide again once we get to where we're after we've shared with you how to be able to sync these together. So really, if you're looking at creating the visuals from PowerPoint, we're going to go over this again because we do believe that it is extremely important. So right now, I'm just going to go ahead and back out of this right here. And at the very top, this is PowerPoint. I'm working for PowerPoint. So if I choose File, Save as Pictures, it's going to create a folder. Now notice the file format here is JPEG. Then I'm just going to click Save. And it's going to save. I'll just save this onto my desktop for now, and then I'll save. And now you'll see that it says each slide of your presentation has been saved as a separate file in the folder. So what I can now do is go to my folder and the desktop, so you can see that there has been a folder of all of these different images. Now it says slide 12, etc. You'll just want to make sure that you go in and name each one of the slides. Based off of that frequently asked question or that answer or that screenshot, whatever it is that you have prepared for your specific audience member. So we showed you real quick on how to be able to do that. You should have no problem exporting your PowerPoint into those images that you'll need for your screen-to-screen selling calls. So next, we've got iPhoto. Now, iPhoto is a program designed for Apple. Now, do you need iPhoto to be able to integrate with Doceri Desktop or the Doceri iPad app, or can you still use a Windows computer? Absolutely. We just use iPhoto because that's what this comes with Apple. But again, you're not limited to using iPhoto. Just so you are aware of that. So right now, using this little screenshot right here, notice that on the left-hand side, we're looking at the folder called Strategic Altering. So when we go in and we work with associations or organizations, we have a lot of different models and processes and images that help them make good decisions. And so this was a PowerPoint presentation we created ahead of time. We just exported it into images. So once these images are now stored into our iPhoto library, then it's just a matter of synchronizing it with our iPad, so then that way they are displayed for quick retrieval for our screen-to-screen selling calls. So what I'll do is I'll share with you, this is the little menu here at the very bottom. So this is if I have iTunes. Now again, remember, iTunes can be downloaded onto an Apple or a PC. It's not an issue. So right here you can see that I'm using iTunes. Then I click on the iPad as the specific option of what I'm going to be able to sync with. And just so you're aware, this is kind of the step-by-step process. Number one, open up iTunes and plug in the iPad using a cord. Now, can you do it wirelessly? Yes, it's just another thing that you have to worry about, so that's the reason why we like the little cord. You click on the little iPad menu, and I've actually shown you this right here. There's a little menu button that you would click on. Select a photos from your iPad options. So what we'll do real quick is we'll just back out of this so you can see exactly what we're talking about here. So I'm going to go to iTunes. So right now we've got we've clicked on the iPad. Now it says here at the very top, sync photos from iPhoto. Instead of doing all the photos and images, because we do have a lot of photos on our computer, we don't want to have all of them go onto our iPad. So we've only selected albums, events, and faces. And really, to make it easy, because there's so many different options you could choose, I only select albums to sync into my iPad. Could I use it for other things? Sure, I could. But because I'm using my iPad for business use, I'm only loading kind of these images that I would use during my screen-to-screen selling calls. So on the left-hand side, you can see some of the albums that I have selected. I like to always have like a personal album, because sometimes, people say, well, who is Doug? Sometimes I'll load up an image of me and my fiance, or me and my dogs, or my nephews. It kind of humanizes me. Here I've got the screenshot templates, and we have a whole module that we share. So all we do is we just check these little boxes of the different folders of images that we want to be able to sync to. And then once those are all selected, we click the sync button, and then voila, you have your all of your visuals stored right in. So again, you sync the photos from the folder, and then you click sync iPad, which we've demonstrated. So that might be something you might want to watch again, just because it can be a little challenging the first couple times that you do it. So again, just to reinforce the visual, here's what it looks like at the very top. We are on the iPad here. We're syncing the photos from iPhoto, only the selected albums, so we select those. And then remember at the very bottom it says sync iPad. That's the button that we click at the bottom. So what you end up happening is when you go into your Doceri iPad app and you're on a screen-to-screen selling call, depending on the specific customer type or the type of service that you're going to offer, you then choose the folder. It will then load the images in the folder, and then you select the right image to be able to display on your iPad. Now remember, what ends up happening is, and we've showed this again, but we've showed this before. So if this is the iPad, and this is the computer, And then here are your different screens that you're sharing with using join.me. Whatever shows on your computer shows on your iPad. Whatever happens on your iPad shows on your computer. So these visuals that you load onto your iPad now start to share with everyone else. So for more resources, how-to videos, step-by-step workbook, etc., be sure to access your elite membership and start taking advantage of it. Please start to share some of the things that you've been implementing, some of your success stories. We really love to see how other people are using screen-to-screen selling in your business.